everybody, FSC Trucking. We're going to get this day started because we got to get Orwell fired up. We got to go get loaded. We're actually not going very far. We're just going down to Kakana to go get loaded, and then we're coming right back here because we're taking this load round trip to Texas. Let's get this video started. Or Orwell first. Yeah. Now there's a reason Orwell was outside overnight, not inside. I didn't know whether I was going to load today or not. I kind of assumed that I'd be loading tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I assumed I'd be loading Monday. I just kind of, but today was an option, so I figured, you know what, let me leave them outside. And it really didn't get all that cold, so as you can see, it started up, didn't give me too much trouble. So today's gonna be an interesting day. It's gonna not be all in one video, obviously. All I plan on filming today is getting loaded and coming back here. We brought the hemi-dually inside, and it's gonna be coming back in because I ordered a back rack for it. So that way we can get strobe lights mounted on the roof up high like I want them. Also, well, you'll see when it comes in. But we plan on, I don't know if it'll be the next video, but today, if the back rack does come in, that we're gonna go ahead and start working on the hemi-dually and getting that stuff handled. But I wanted to give you an update while Orwell's warming up and airing up. I wanna give you an update on Snow White. Now the truck known as Snow White is actually a Suburban. It's owned by my son and his fiance, who are obviously getting ready to get married. It's a wedding gift I have bought them, so that way they stay out of debt and stay out of family demands. So the update on Snow White is kind of simple. Yikes! What happened? So long story short with Snow White is, this is a paint job. Yeah, the paint on this truck, if you've seen a previous video, is absolutely terrible. The primer is basically failing. And like you can see the old paint repair where I don't even know what they use. Like, did they like literally wire brush the truck and then paint it? I don't know what this other paint is. Look at this, like this is factory, I think. And this is who knows what, painted over. This is that GM problem. My white Cadillac has the same problem. Look here, see, this is why I'm bringing it down to bare steel. This is, I think, factory, and if the paint's peeling and the primer's not, then that's failing primer. That failing primer is actually typical of General Motors products from the late 80s into the 90s. I'm actually surprised it's in a 99 because I had a 98 Oldsmobile and that was a General Motors product and it didn't have any of this problem at all. So I'm not sure which it is, but nonetheless, the problem by 89 Suburban was the primer failed and the paint would peel off. I don't know if that's as bad as this, but my 91 Cadillac had the same problem where literally the paint seems to crack and shrink. I don't know if it's bad paint, bad primer, not sure, so we're bringing it down to bare steel. But here's why I took it all apart. I'll show you right here is these damn fenders. The reason I took it all apart is because, well, the hood's easier to do if it's not on the truck, but this is plastic and it color matched to the painted lower trim on the truck. So it's white with this, I'm gonna call it brown. It's not brown, but I don't know what this color actually is. Leave a comment. It's close to brown. But this is plastic, it covers over it. And it's held on by more than these bolts right here along like so. There's bolts on the inside of the fender that way. And they're very hard, if not impossible, to get out. Like, I don't know, if you shine the light in there, you'd see one way down in here. You can't even get your hand in there to get one or two of them, and that's about it. But there's more of them than that. So to get that plastic off, the paint under it, you got to pull the fender off. I think the back, that's the scary part. The back here, if it's done the same, the GM, first of all, this, all it does is collect crap underneath it, which promotes rust. What was GM thinking? I don't know. They must have been hitting the crack pipe real hard. I think you got to take the interior out to get these out. I'm not really sure. Or, no, there's plugs. I can feel the plug under there. I doubt you'll see it. Right there, there's a plug. Plastic. Planned obsolescence. I swear the 70s Fords were the same too. But here's the piece that came off. Right there, see? That's how they hold on. But that's the part that came off on the driver's side one there. Leave it there. That's just kind of parts table for time being. So here's the hood. I have to clean it up more, but basically I stripped it right down to bare steel. This will get primed and painted on the stand like you see. And here's the fender. Still have some more work to do. I didn't even clean it up yet, just get the dust off it. But yeah, so I scuffed this. I'm not gonna pull this down to bare steel. It's gonna be covered by that plastic piece. So we're just gonna scuff and spray as far as this goes, but this is all gonna be all prime new and then paint it. And then this, we're leaving it alone. That's that brown color that matches. So the seam is right here, right between the flat part and the beginning of the seam. So that's where the color change is gonna be. And we're gonna be putting a pinstripe over that is the plan. And Matthew, being who he is, we have a little special design in mind. I got to talk to him about it. Now, plastic grill on these things, it broke. That side was starting to crack. That side was already cracked. And these I can get new from LMC Truck. So the plan is I'm going to buy a whole new one. So when we actually paint, it's going to be the entirety of the truck with the. I just got to take the passenger side fender off, but then that's going to be painted. Doors on the truck, tailgate or barn doors still on the truck, but the whole thing's got to be brought to bare steel. We're not jamming it. The jams are fine. It's just the exterior, like parts actually outside, so we're not jamming it. But that's the idea. Take the one fender off. We'll paint two fenders, hood and grill, separate from the truck, and then the whole truck will be painted all in one shot, and then it'll be very carefully put back all together. So that's the basic plan with that. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but obviously it's a lot more prep work. I mean, I just started. It's just, this truck was a good price for what it is and the mileage on it. However, the body condition was really solid. There's no rust. However, the paint was just absolutely atrocious. So we're doing the best we can. Now, as for the Hemi Dually, me and Tim do have plans in the future, like probably within the next month of this filming time date, not like from right now, not when you guys are watching, but we are planning on other large boat hauls where we're gonna need me as escorts again. So sorry haters, I know you guys go bat crap crazy over it, but yeah, we're gonna set the dually up right and get it ready to go. So that's hopefully, that job will hopefully start today. So we'll get this thing set up right, and then if that works out pretty good, then we'll probably build another pilot car set up with that. So I'm thinking box Chevy Caprice wagon is really what I want to build one out of. Somebody's made a comment, bubble Chevys, more aerodynamic. First of all, what I really want is throttle body 350 is what I prefer, but we'll see how that plays out. But yes, we're gonna set that up right, so that'll blow people's minds. That'll get the haters screaming.
All right, Orwell should be basically ready to go. You go ahead and get the trailer
Aired up, push in the brake knob for the trailer. Trailer hasn't done anything in a little bit, so I usually let it sit and rest with the air pressure on it for a little while before we go. I gotta make a couple phone calls and then we'll get ahead and stroll. Yeah. Hit there, like and subscribe. Just like I hit that brake knob with vigor and energy. This is the first run with Orwell after the last repair. Well, that's funny because one repair created the problem that had to be fixed. It's kind of like, well, let's see how it runs when we pull out of here. I wonder, will Orwell roll coal like it used to? Much coal, if any. So let's recap here what happened. Orwell had a series of problems, which one created the next problem. Because I fixed the first problem, it created the second. Orwell was suffering from a boost leak. It wasn't a dramatic boost leak at first, and then it just got worse and worse. So finally I decided to put two and two together when I started working on what was a coolant leak. Damn high. I started working on what started as a coolant leak because I walked outside one day and it was just dripping water all over the ground. I'm like, uh-oh, all right, we're gonna have to address this. So while I drained all the water out, I figured, okay, let me find and fix the boost leak now that it's bad enough to need to be addressing reasonably soon. I knew it was there, I just didn't have the time or the availability to get at it. And being that this is an air-to-water aftercooler setup rather than an air-to-air, it's a very time-consuming and labor-intensive job to rip the top of that whole thing apart. And then, because you got to take the water, you got to drain the water out of it, you got to take all the induction tubes off the top of the engine. It just takes some time. So when I took it apart, that's when luckily I found that the aftercooler was bad, the aftercooler core. Caterpillar calls the entire unit an aftercooler. The radiator section of it in the middle, water and air, they call that the core, aftercooler core. Just so we get a nomenclature right. Anyway, replaced all of that, fixed the boost leak, good to go. Happy Orwell ran good, building boost like it used to. Running. I get all the way, not a heavy load, but heavy enough. 38,000 pound load. We got out to Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden the engine quit running right because the air fuel control diaphragm had broke. From the now extra boost, that's all that old diaphragm could take. Also, Caterpillar in the years updated that diaphragm, which the update was never done because this truck's, the injector pump, the air fuel control diaphragm, everything attached to the injector pump, with the exception of the fuel cutoff, the fuel control solenoid that shuts the fuel off to allow the engine to start or to shut it off. It's electric on this truck. Other than that, nothing was changed when I rebuilt the engine. The truck sat in storage effectively from 95 until I bought it in 18 or 19, I think 19. So the update was never done. We updated it when we did this one with the newer style, although I can't really tell much difference other than the spring cup and maybe the size of the section. There's a little housing you have to replace. Maybe the part where the diaphragm sits in is a little bit bigger. I'm not 100% on that, but I don't think that the update was ever done. Either way, if it's all updated now, good to go. But that's what happened. This is the first run since we replaced the air fuel control diaphragm. What it does is it gives you throttle, and once the turbo starts making boost, it uses the boost pressure to start opening the throttle more. Now what I control with your throttle, most people don't understand that. What I control with the fuel pedal is not actually the throttle. What you actually control is the governor. That's it. The governor allows the engine to rev up. The revving up and burning of fuel starts building boost. The boost pressure at that point starts opening your fuel rack, your injectors, the rest of the way. But it needs boost to do it. Without it, it won't give you but maybe 30-40% of power. Max boost I can get was about 15 pounds. That's with no boost leak. So the engine was effectively derated for what a modern truck, what they would consider a modern truck to do, would be a derating. Only difference being, it'll run as fast as you want it to run. It won't limit you at 55, but it takes you forever to get there, especially with a load. We headed home from Portland, Maine to be able to fix that. And that kit, I call it a kit, was around $100, but then I needed a few other O-rings for mounting it back on the governor. So I think all in was about $150, but then there was increased cost. I fixed the Jake brake switch now. Watch this. Now when I lift my foot off the throttle, hit back the throttle, so now the Jake brakes work like normal. I also fixed that while I was in there. So I've been trying to actually get the repairs on Orwell done. It just took time to actually get it in, get it done. So once I started with that water leak fix, my answer was, let's just tear it all down, take care of everything. Hence the next trouble was, like I said, because of the increased boost, she popped the air fuel control diaphragm. Like I said, it's a fuel ratio system. I think Long Holler was gonna, maybe his clutch is out, I don't know. He had no intention on stopping. Cut you off there, brother. He rolled through that like he had like he's got a busted clutch or something, like he didn't want to bring it to a stop. That's all right. Might have been tight, but not that tight. So the rest of the day is kind of going to be interesting. I'm not sure how it's going to fall in a sequence of videos. And to be honest, normally my videos are not very current. They're laggy. So I'm trying to get ready for Louisville. We're not showing anything, but we're doing a meet and greet at Green APU on Thursday, so first day. So we got to be there Wednesday night. That way we're there for our meet and greet Thursday. I guess we show up Thursday morning, as this is good, but I really don't want to run that hard. And then we have plans to work with Tim doing oversized stuff after the fact. So I'm trying to get the dually fixed up and ready to go before I start trucking everywhere. So it's kind of a time crunch. Today is Friday, March 8th, and the Louisville Truck Show starts in 1 day shy of 2 weeks on the 21st. So So I got next week and the week after. Now this load is a round trip. So I literally go to Texas, unload, reload, come right back. So I can unload Monday morning, reload Monday morning. It gives me Monday all day, Tuesday all day. I can get at least a plan by Tuesday. Unload Wednesday morning, reload Wednesday morning, and do another whole turn possibly, which is the plan. I want to try to get as many turns in or much work in as I can before I go to Louisville. Our new mechanic is coming to Louisville. I can't wait for that. So yeah, it's a little bit of cart before the horse, but I want them to see what all we do beyond just the truck shop. It's like one of the crap haulers didn't have his valve closed or spilling over or something. He got poop all over the road. Same thing happened the other way too, looks like. I think that's what my old 379 does now, is haul poop. There's money in poop. I actually did it once. I just took driver's wage for a guy long before the channel. Long before I even had any channel, actually. It was very interesting hauling poop. Kind of fun in a weird way. There's a new YouTube channel in town too, Trucking Together. They have, honestly, I feel bad. I've watched a couple of their videos, I commented on a couple of their videos, but I never subscribed. I don't know why. By the way, you guys should subscribe, not just to them, but to here too. If you're not subscribed, why not? Most of my audience is not subscribed, and I never understand that, but it is what it is. But you really should subscribe. But I guess I kind of did the same to them. And then I started seeing comments on my videos that they were moving near us, which they are really close to my shop, actually. They're probably, I mean, I don't know, I guess say the distance, but they're easy driving distance from my shop. So I got a hold of them. They came by and shot the bull down at the shop when Orwell was down. So later tonight, we plan on doing a dual live. Both channels doing a live simultaneously, live from my shop. So we'll try that out. But yeah, they apparently have 3 trucks, and they moved here based on a contract that they were going to have running, and then that company they were going to run for got real pissy with them. And Martin and Alice, they're both names. They're a married couple trucking together. They have 3 trucks. I guess they had one drove the other, and then they had an employee driving another truck. So they brought everything out here based on a contract, but that company started getting weird, and Martin and Alice told them to basically go pack sand. So now they're looking for a place to run and do what they've been doing. So we'll see how it plays out for them. So good people, you know, truckers just like us. So we'll see how that works out. Doing a dual live. I don't know if my Starlink can handle 2 live feeds at the same time. But we're gonna try. We're gonna see how it works. So it'll work out good because Jen has off today. So she's running around doing some errands, taking care of stuff at the house. And hopefully I'll find out, hopefully my back rack will come in today. If it does, we'll just run up there and go get it, and we'll start on that today as well, finish it tomorrow, and we'll haul ass for Texas.